a secret that has been hidden for centuries. But one day, some people find out about it. And then the greed of man ruined the whole game. It's time for the Second World War, which is coming to an end, because Sanjuktaraj has declared his victory, because of which all the Nazi army base camps were trying to run away. In the meantime, let's see a base camp where something valuable is kept. Our hero Indiana Jones is in the middle of it, who doesn't need any praise to make the same priceless thing himself. He is in full struggle. But today there was a mistake, because of which he comes in the clutches of the enemies. Actually, he came here to steal that holy scrap. This is the spear with which when Jesus was crucified for the last time. That's when his hand was stabbed with this spear, whose mark is still on this holy scrap. But unfortunately, now Indiana will not be able to get it, because he has been sentenced to death. In the meantime, his other friend Sean is also caught, whom he asks to tie to his train. Now the train has run. Gradually, she also starts catching her own speed. At the same time, Indiana also frees himself and follows that train with a soldier's bike. Then, with great difficulty, he is able to catch that train. Here Dr. Wooler comes and tells the general that the holy scrap behind which he is, actually, it is fake, because the real one was broken at the same time by the supporters of Jesus. Even Indiana knew this, but still he has come to steal it, because it is fake. Only he knows this, not the world. If he sells it in the name of religion, then millions of people will be killed. And this is also a bitter truth. But now the general knows this. He is worried, because he cannot bring this fake thing in front of Hitler. That's why Dr. Wooler tells him that he has something more precious than this, and that is the cathedral. That is the dial of destiny, with which the Archimedes made it first. With the help of this, he can know everything about time, temperature, depth. And something like this used to be very rare at that time. But the sad thing is that it is only half now. No one knows where the other half is. But yes, such people say that if someone joins it to another piece, then if it is used, then he will become like God, because he will know everything. Meanwhile, a soldier comes and tells that they have been attacked, which was the job of Indiana, and that's why the general immediately goes after him. But here Indiana had already entered the train, and very cleverly ran away with Sean. On the way, Sean gets that cathedral, with whose hands he tells Indiana, "This can change our fate." After this, these people come to the top of the train, but the general still does not leave them behind. But somehow they leave behind, and when they come, there is an entry of Dr. Wooler. He had a gun, and he was just asking for the cathedral, which he does not want to give. Then suddenly a pillar comes, from which the doctor collided. In the meantime, we see that Sanjuktaraj now starts breaking that bridge with his plane. These two jump into the water before, but Sean was very disappointed, because that cathedral was gone from his hands. But Indiana looks at him and says, "Don't be sad. I had kept it with me. The wheel of time stops here." This was the year when America sent its first man into space, whose celebration is all over the country, and the whole city is drowning in its celebration. But the old Indiana is worried about this noise. That's why he goes and tells his neighbors to turn off the music. But he says that today the celebration will be held. No one can stop him. Anyway, today Indiana is retiring from his professor's job. That's why everyone comes to say goodbye to him. But he is very interested in his work. That's why even after retirement, he does not stop applying archaeology in front of his name. He goes to the pub to complete his free time. A girl comes there who does not know that someone is following him. Anyway, as soon as he came, he said to Indiana, "I think you don't recognize me. I am Helena. Your closest friend is Sean's daughter." Hearing this, Indiana is very happy. But he is more happy when he finds out that he has done his master's degree in archaeology. And when he took out the book of his history, Indiana was also surprised. How does this girl know so much? But why did she come to meet him? This question was running in his mind again and again. Helena herself told him that she was looking for the dialogue destiny of the architect, which his father got. But he told me that when he was on the train of the Nazi army, he fell somewhere in the river and got lost. If I get it, I will become a very big archaeologist. I just have that dream. He told him to fulfill his father's unfulfilled wish. He also showed the map of the Nazi train and told him that he would be somewhere under this bridge. Indiana takes him to his storeroom and gives him the same dial soup. After seeing this, his eyes burst. Then Indiana tells him that this is the same thing that ate your father. But he was sure that it was not made just to find out the time, because while the architect was making it, he accidentally discovered some other big things, about which your father had found out. And that was the time travel. If this dial is fully joined, we can find the cracks of time, which has never disappeared, or no one has ever read about them. After knowing all this, Helena's mind opens. But that's when the same people come there who were following her. He killed 2 people outside. Here Indiana tells him that this thing is very dangerous. That's why your father said to break it, because it is written in the graphic cause. If someone finds it and joins it, it will be a disaster. Then Helena says in a very strange way that I knew that you would not break it. After hearing this, Indiana understands that he already knew that it was not lost in the river, but it is with him. And that's why she has come to take it from here. In the meantime, the goons suddenly come there. They were not sent by anyone else, but by Dr. Wooler. Yes, he is alive, and he is the one who just sent Apollo 2 to the moon. And he changed his name to Dr. Smith. Seeing those goons, Helena runs away. But he shut Indiana down there. They are all after Indiana, but they are also 4 steps ahead of him. When he saw the crowd outside, he ran away with a police horse and entered the metro station. Now they give this news to Dr. Wooler and tell him that the dial is actually with Helena. When he saw the photo of Helena and Indiana, he immediately recognized her and understood that the game was going to be ruined, because no one is going to get Indiana so soon. Even if the lion is old, he does not forget to hunt. An old friend of Indiana, Solar, secretly brings him to his house, where he tells him everything about Helena. That is, he opens his whole raw letter. Actually, Helena is not an ordinary girl. Last year, she was caught selling some ancient items at a place. But this is also worth noting. Her release was made by the son of the Moroccan mafia, Azim Rahim, who is very good at these things. Next week, these ancient and historic items are going to be auctioned in his hotel. Illegally, it is possible that Helena will take that dial to sell there. As soon as he hears this, Indiana leaves for Morocco immediately, because if this dial is in someone else's hands, then you can imagine what can happen. Now, sitting in the plane, he read all these letters that Sean had sent him at some time, in which there was a complete description of the cathedral. How does it work and what will happen if someone gets the other piece? When he reached Morocco, he went straight to the hotel where he met Helena, who was auctioning that dialer with a 17-year-old boy, Teddy. Indiana stops him from doing this. That's when Dr. Wooler came there, who was the first time Indiana recognized him, and asked, is he still a Nazi? But he says that he has some misunderstanding. He is Dr. Smith, who is being talked about by someone else. But both know that this is a lie. Now here the doctor also begins to justify himself on that dial. Seeing this, Indiana understands that this is the right opportunity. From there, he begins to make a fuss, due to which that dial shakes from its place. But in the end, he got caught by Dr. Wooler. He ran away with it and they both caught him. That's when the police of Morocco comes there. But suddenly they all started backing off, because now the son of the mafia, Rahim, has come behind, with whom Helena pretended to be in love so that he could get him out of jail. But Rahim has fallen in love with him when he found out that he had sent his engagement ring. Then he turns red in anger and puts his people behind him. But at the right time, Teddy came there, who took him away in an auto. When Indiana saw that Dr. Wooler's car was going to the side, he took the steering in his control and started following him. His biggest problem was Rahim, who has been after him. Now, until he could get rid of him, Dr. Wooler ran away. But his fate was not good. When he went ahead, some agents of the American army caught him and took him with them. But when Dr. Wooler told him to let him go, because now he has to find the other part too. But they also forbid him to go anywhere. Now the doctor kills everyone along with one of his companions. Then he takes control of that entire square. Here Teddy brings water to Indiana. But Indiana gets very angry at Helena, that she is spilling water on her father's years of hard work. She didn't want anyone to get hurt, but you gave her that book along with that dial, in which the whole secret of her life was written. Helena says that every page of that book is printed in my mind. No one will be able to snatch it from me. To test this, she asked, "Do you know the location of the graphic course?" Helena said yes, but she can't believe it, because no one knew that location. But Helena says that her father knew. She had written that location in that book, which was in the coach. Hearing this, Indiana understands that she had written that course in the letter of Sean, which was an altitude. That means they have a chance to find the other part. But Helena doesn't have a diver who can go under the sea and find it. But Indiana has an old friend who can do this work. These people go straight to the city of Athens, where they meet a man named Ronaldo, and they go to the other side of the sea from his boat, where that ship sank, in which this dial was. Helena tells Indiana that when that ship sank, it broke into two pieces. One piece was a little above the water, and the other piece was very deep in the water, where many soldiers were ready, who were going somewhere with the dial in their custody. Now late at night, Helena asks Indiana if they get a chance to go back in time. When will they go? Indiana answered without taking time that he will go to Vietnam during the war, when his son was going to war, where he died. But he will go back and stop him from going to war, so that he stays alive, so that he and his wife's relationship are also safe, which has now melted. Now this loneliness is making me hollow from inside. After saying so much, he went to sleep. The next morning, these people get ready to go to that sunken ship, which was 300 feet deep in the sea, where it was not so easy to go. Ronaldo tells one of his companions to stay up, so that he can take care of Teddy. Now when he went down, he showed him the hull of the ship. Ronaldo pointed at him. He has 3 minutes left, because he is in very deep, and in such a situation, oxygen is running out quickly. Helena understands the matter and reaches below. After a while of hard work, he finds a skeleton of a soldier who was holding a chest in his hand, which Indiana understands as soon as he sees. This is the same for which he has traveled for miles. But there is a problem. There is another boat with his boat. Yes, Dr. Wooler. His people have also reached here. They capture all these people and take the chest with them. When he opened it, he saw a seal inside, which only Indiana can read, but he refuses to read. In anger, he shoots Dr. Ronaldo. Then Helena comes and tells. Her father has taught her this language. She knows how to read, but in return, she needs 3 crores. Dr. Wooler agreed. He gave her a diamond instead of money. Then Helena starts reading. The thing you are looking for. It is in the grave of the Archimedes. Hearing this, the doctor says, no one has ever found it. But when Helena reads everything slowly, she understands. This is the house of Alexander's book. After going a little deeper, she found out. Where is the grave of the Archimedes? Actually, it is under the statue of the Chalian goddess, in a ruin, which is present in Egypt. Helena opens the bomb with the help of a cigarette. Taking advantage of the opportunity, these people escape from the boat. Their next destination was Egypt. Meanwhile, Indiana burns the seal of the Graphicos, from which the real Graphicos comes out. That is a map of gold. Before reaching there, Dr. Wooler and those people reach there, and they kidnap Teddy. But they know that he will come here. The truth was also there, just a little behind them. There, Indiana finds a thing in the corner of a cave, which looks like the shape of the moon. Looking at it, they understand. They have to go up, because the shape of the moon is also made on that Graphicos. So maybe this is a sign. After climbing up slowly, these people reach a door, beyond which, maybe their search is over. But the biggest question is, how will this door open? When Teddy was moving forward with the goons of Dr. Wooler, then he cleverly snatched the key of his handcuffs on a man, and he found out. So both of them fell into the water. The water was so deep that both of them started having difficulty. But Teddy was used to such things. He fooled him and came to the other side. Here, Indiana remembers that the architemist was very fond of water. He used a lot of water in his inventions. So maybe water is the solution to our puzzle. That's why these people start looking for water at that place, which they get very easily. Actually, there was a small pond there, in which they start throwing the mud in it, due to which, gradually the water level begins to decrease. And during this time, the sound of these locks clicking, that is, according to Indiana, suddenly the whole pond becomes like a slider, with the help of which these people come to the other side, where, in front of their eyes, the architemist's tomb, which has not been able to find coal till date, but Indiana did it. Now he opened that coffin. He found the architemist's skull inside it, in whose hands was the second part, which he takes. But when his eyes went on his wrists, he was stunned, because he was wearing an analog watch. But at that time, the watch was not invented, which means Sean was right. Time travel can be done with this dial. Now he could understand something more. Dr. Wooler reached there, who took the second part from him on the gun. Then he joined the two and fixed it, with which they start walking. But then Teddy walks on an egg and attacks. With this, there was chaos there. And in the meantime, Indiana was also shot. But he tells them to go. Here Dr. Wooler takes Indiana and sits in the plane and sets a location and gives that altitude to his pilot. He said that there will be a time gap at this place, from where everything will change. He will win World War II. Whatever mistakes Hitler made, he will correct it, and he will kill him with his own hands and rule this country. He wore his old uniform, seeing which some Jews still tremble. But the real thriller is yet to come in the story. Actually, Teddy put a plane behind him, but Helena gets into it before it takes off. And on top of that, Dr. Wooler tells Indiana the location where you are going. Now it will not be there, because the architects had made this map 2,000 years ago. Since then, because of those countless earthquakes, if you miss even a little, can be disastrous. After thinking for a while, the doctor also understands that he is right. That's why he tells his pilot to take the plane to the right. But that gap was now in front of him, and his magnetic power was so strong that his plane could not stop. And as soon as he sees, he gets into it. When these people go to the other side, it was getting dark there. The doctor was very happy to see that he has come to the right place. But Indiana told him that this is not the time of World War II, but the Roman Empire. The war is going on between the armies of archetypes. This is the time of 200 BC. When the doctor hears this, he goes crazy. When archetypes from his palace window, when he saw an iron object flying, he understood that he has come from the future, which means the cathedral built by archetypes has started working. On the same plane, the army of the Roman Empire starts attacking, because they do not understand. What is this thing that is flying in the sky? Till now they had only made things related to the ground. Mullen immediately tells his pilot to go to the same gap before it closes. But this is not possible, because their engine is broken, which means death. Taking advantage of this, Archetypes takes Indiana and Helena and jumps off the parachute, and these people crash while coming down. Archetypes immediately went to that gap. There he took the analog clock and took the cathedra, which was completely made. He is very happy to see this, because he has become a hard worker for years. After this, Indiana, when he saw him with his own eyes, then he got only one word. This is the same person whose stories are on people's tongues today. Archetypes. Archetypes asked, "Who is he?" He said that he came 2,000 years ago, where he is still remembered today. This is a blessing for him, that he can meet him. Archetypes says that he has come here because he has been called here for help. And that's why he made this thing, so that I can call help from the Kalyug. After hearing this, Helena understands. No matter how many times you use the cathedra, he will bring him here again and again, which means that time can be traveled at the same place. Meanwhile, Indiana's health is deteriorating because he has been shot. That's why Helena tells him to go. But he refuses because he has spent his whole life for this moment. Today he wants to live it. Here he told him to read this quote in reverse. You will go back to your time, but you don't want to go without it. And she knocks him down and makes him unconscious there. And when he opened his eyes, he was in the same place where the airplane was. The car was also there, and he was also unhappy. Why did she come back with him? Then his wife came in the room. He was surprised to see her. Then he said that Helena has told him everything, that you have been going through this loneliness for years, but now nothing will happen. We will live together. After saying this, he kisses her, and the story ends with this scene. How did you like the story? Do tell us by commenting. This is an amazing time travel story, which looks very interesting. Do tell us by commenting. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching MKE channel.